Hello and welcome to another pandemic update video for Tuesday, October 4th, 2022. As you can see here, there's a little bit of a change here in the CDC community transmission map. And that change is you're seeing less red across the country. Transmission levels have dropped. For the time being, high levels of transmission are dropping in a majority of the country. 56.83% of the counties are in high transmission. Substantial transmission's actually up because, well, there's a shift, with 25.92% of the counties being in substantial. Moderate, that's up to 13.25% of the counties, or 427 total. And low just makes up just about 4% of the counties. As you can see here, the northeastern states have the most amount of high transmission, followed by Puerto Rico, which has just a couple counties that are in medium or in substantial transmission, with one tiny county here or area in Puerto Rico that has low transmission. Taking a look at the variant proportion. The dominant variant is the BA.5 wave, and that's at 81.3%. BA.4.6 subvariant makes up 12.8% of the cases. BF.7 makes up 3.4%. BA.2.75 is 1.4% of the cases. BA.4 is 1.1% of the cases. Speaking of today's cases, there's 36,505 new cases so far today. Maybe a few more get added, but not looking likely because simply, well, testing's way down. But first off, deaths. Still another 480 deaths. So yet again this week we're trending to at least probably another 2,500 deaths this week. It's pretty stubborn. It's been above 2,500 for a really long time now. Testing. 223,932 tests conducted. Some of this includes weekly totals. So that's low. I would like to see that get a lot higher. And it's not. It'll be higher tomorrow because Wednesday has the most number of states that update. But still, it's just not good. Hospitalizations. They have continued to drop. I thought they would have leveled off last week, but they haven't yet. So we'll just wait and see what happens here. They are up ever so slightly today. They're at 26,834. That's up by 25. ICUs continue to drop. I think they could get below 3,000. They're at 3,234. They dropped by 58 today. Taking a look at the various different states, you can see the Northeast has the most number of states that are rising. Then you have New Mexico rising, Colorado rising, then a big rise in Washington State for some reason. Taking a look at the states, Florida reported 1,712 cases. They're actually down 38%. New York State reported 2,991 cases. Illinois reported 1,575. Michigan weekly total was 12,880. New Jersey 1,946. Tennessee 1,609. Virginia 1,000. South Carolina 4,200. Louisiana 395. And a disclaimer on South Carolina. That is a weekly total. Maryland, 1,514 cases. Oklahoma, 861. Puerto Rico, 271. Arkansas, 346. Mississippi, 1,614. Connecticut, 867. Iowa, 483. New Mexico, 241 cases. West Virginia, 274. New Hampshire, 525. Delaware, 76. Maine continues to rise. Now, 563 cases today. And let's click on Maine. I want to see, did Maine have an update yesterday or over the weekend? So this is the first update from Maine since last Saturday, this past Saturday. So still, overall, Maine continues to rise. This is not good. Taking a look at Maine hospitalizations. 215 people in hospital in Maine. That is up over from this time last week. So, yeah, overall, they're continuing to rise there. And also, continuing down here, Wyoming, 437 cases. District of Columbia, which is Washington, D.C., 38. Virgin Islands, 10. Let's take a look at Vermont real quickly. There's some interesting stuff out of Vermont. Vermont hospitalizations are up to 53. That's the highest hospitalizations in Vermont since, you have to go all the way back to May. Since May 28th, when they had 55. The next record to beat will be May 25th at 56, then May 24th at 61. It'll be very interesting to see if they rise again tomorrow. Check back tomorrow. We'll be doing another pandemic update tomorrow, as you know, Wednesdays have the most number of states that update. Alrighty, moving on here to hospitalizations. 26,941 people in the hospital for coronavirus on the HHS dashboard. 73.48% of all beds are currently in use. 3.95% of the beds that are in use are for coronavirus. Next, we would normally go to Walgreens, but Walgreens is not working anymore. I'm assuming they may have retired Walgreens, so Walgreens may be no more, but stay tuned. You never know, maybe it'll come back if things start to get bad again. New York State, as you know, 2,991 new cases today. Their positivity is at 8%. There were only 35,000 tests done in the last 24 hours. At the peak of coronavirus, that got to almost near 300,000 tests in a day, and it's hovered between 150,000 and 200,000 for many times. And right now, that's not happening. Testing needs to be much higher. Positivity is starting to go up. This testing needs to be at least doubled. It should still be over 100,000 in New York State, in my opinion, and it's not. Hospitalizations in New York State, last update, end of last week, was at 2,279. It rose again today to 2,366. So hospitalizations continue to rise in New York State. And newly reported admissions, as you can see here, they are continuing to slightly rise. 909 reported today. The previous update was, or the previous Tuesday was 897. So week over week, it is up. Taking a look at Texas. Texas has 1,425 people in the hospital. That's down. It was over 1,600 last week. And the positivity continues to drop. It's now down to 8.3%. Will it go below 5%? It could. The southern states are continuing to drop. If we go back to the transmission map, look down south. A lot of the counties now are low to moderate. Some are in substantial, not as many high areas. South of North Carolina, Tennessee. There are some high areas in Texas still, but not many, not like it was during the summertime. So, overall, here's where we're headed. The northeastern states, and you can see it here on the transmission map, northeastern states are rising. We'll get an update out of Pennsylvania tomorrow to see what's happening here in my state. But the northeastern states are rising. You saw there's a pretty big percent increase in Maine. You saw in Vermont the hospitalizations are the highest level since spring. So that's it. All of that is an indicator. Cases are going up. We're not catching all the cases there. The South continues to fall. And I think that's going to continue to happen in the South right on into November. There was a model that was issued by someone on Twitter. He's a very reputable source. JW or something like that. I forget what his name is. But he always puts these projections out. And his projections show from here on out, cases will rise in the United States. And really get going as we end in November and December. I think we are going to easily pass the BA.5 peak. However, with this wave, I think we'll stay below the BA.1 peak. Number one, I think cases will be lower. Number two, I think we're just not going to catch all the cases. So if they were to get that high, we'll never know because we're not going to catch all the cases. But it's definitely going to get higher than BA.5. And I'm not going to speculate what the real number is going to be, but it's going to go up. And I will say this. I think around the holidays and at some point, maybe by Christmas, hospitalizations could get back to 100,000 again. If they don't, that's great, but I've got a feeling they probably will. Because viral loads are up at this time of year, and people are going to get more sickness. There's going to be more infection with each case. It's not like summertime where you get a lot of asymptomatics cases. And don't get me wrong, there's probably a lot of asymptomatic cases going around right now, but the number of people that actually get sick with their case, it's going to rise. We always see that in the wintertime. We've seen it every winter so far, every fall so far with coronavirus. It's how it works. All right, couple of notes. Tomorrow we do another pandemic update video, and tomorrow we're going to do an international update video, but the main focus in that's going to be on Europe, but I will mention other parts of the world, and we'll see where Europe's going. As you know, last week Europe was rising, and we lag Europe 2 to 4 weeks, and this now makes 2 to 3 weeks till a good majority of the country will follow what's happening in New York. or excuse me, in Europe, and New York will be the key indicator for that. On a final note, I am doing another space with Meet Jess on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. This is a part 2 to what we did last week. So many people tuned in, so many people liked it, we figured, what the heck, why not? Let's do another one. So we are doing another one starting at 8:30. How late it will go, no clue. It is currently set to record if you can't make it. Alrighty. Thanks for watching this video. I know it's a little bit longer than normal, but we haven't done a pandemic-specific update video since last week, so I figured we need to do one. Alright. Stay safe, everyone, and remember to hit like and subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, so you can stay tuned and get alerted when more of these videos are uploaded with the little notification bell up on the top right-hand corner of your YouTube homepage. Thanks for watching.